Hey everyone, and welcome. Let's talk about something we've all felt, but almost nobody wants to admit to. Jealousy. You know that feeling, right? That sudden hot flush when your partner laughs a little too hard at someone else's joke? That twisting in your gut when you're scrolling online and see something that just sets you off? It's this feeling we're taught to be ashamed of, but today, we're gonna drag it right out into the open and take a good, hard look at it.
So let's just get right to it. Why does this stuff hurt so bad? I mean, it's a real physical ache, isn't it? Why does something so small feel like a punch to the stomach? And why, oh why, do we find ourselves at 2 in the morning, wide awake, deep diving into someone's social media, just feeling our own self-worth evaporate with every single click? That's the question we're here to answer.
Because here's the single most important idea we're going to explore. What if jealousy isn't some deep character flaw? What if it's not a sign that you're just a petty or insecure person? What if it's actually a super sophisticated, ancient alarm system that's hardwired into your biology for a very, very good reason? That's the idea that changes everything.
To really get this, you have to understand that jealousy isn't just one thing. Psychologists actually call it a compound emotion. Think of it like a really bitter cocktail. It's a messy mix of the fear that you'll be abandoned, a jolt of anger, and then on top of it all, this deep, sinking feeling of shame for even feeling it in the first place. It's that complicated mix that makes it so unbelievably hard to handle.
Okay, but wait, before we go any further, we have to get our definitions straight. This is probably the most crucial first step, because we have to separate jealousy from its very close and very confusing cousin, envy. Now, we tend to use these words like they're the same thing, but honestly, they are worlds apart. And knowing the difference is the key to unlocking this whole thing.
So here's the simple breakdown. Envy, that's a two-person situation. Your friend gets a promotion, you want that promotion. It's just you and them. But jealousy, jealousy is a whole different beast. It's a three-body problem. It's not about wanting something you don't have. It's about the terrifying fear that you're going to lose something you already have, like your partner's love or attention, to a third person, a rival.
And that right there, that's the real wound. The true agony of jealousy isn't just about losing someone. It's about the story you tell yourself about why you're losing them. It's the primal fear of being replaced. Your brain just starts screaming, "I'm not good enough. I am replaceable." This sends you into a state of what experts call hypervigilance, where you basically become a detective in your own relationship, looking for clues, searching for betrayal. And the irony? That constant suspicion is often the very thing that pushes your partner away, creating the exact disaster you were so afraid of.
Okay, so let's get into the science of this thing. We're about to look at some deep evolutionary psychology and some cutting-edge neuroscience to understand why your brain can treat something as tiny as a like on an Instagram photo like it's a life or death threat. You know, like there's a lion hiding in the grass.
You see, from an evolutionary point of view, jealousy isn't a bug in our system, it's a feature. It's a powerful tool for what scientists call mate retention. You have to remember, for our ancestors, keeping a partner wasn't about finding a soulmate, it was about pure survival. A solid partnership meant you had protection, you had resources, and you had a much better shot at passing on your genes. Losing that partner, that could literally be a death sentence.
Now, what's really fascinating is how this survival pressure seems to have created different flavors of jealousy. For ancient men, the biggest genetic risk was paternity uncertainty, unknowingly raising a child that wasn't theirs. So their jealousy alarm got fine-tuned to be extra sensitive to sexual infidelity. For ancient women, the biggest threat was resource diversion. If her partner formed a deep emotional bond with someone else, he might divert his food, his protection away from her and her children. So her alarm system got tuned to signs of emotional infidelity. And get this, that ancient software, it's still running on our modern-day brains.
Now let's zoom into the brain itself. There's this one specific area called the anterior cingulate cortex, or the ACC. The easiest way to think about it is as your brain's social pain alarm system. When you feel left out, when someone rejects you, or when you feel that sharp, hot sting of jealousy, this is the part of your brain that lights up like a Christmas tree.
And here it is. This is one of the most mind-blowing discoveries in all of neuroscience. That brain region, the ACC, it is the exact same center that processes physical pain. So when we use phrases like a broken heart or say that jealousy feels like a knot in my stomach, we're not just being dramatic. To your brain, the pain of being rejected is indistinguishable from the pain of, say, breaking a bone. It literally, physically hurts.
So what's actually happening in your body in that moment? It's a lightning-fast process called an amygdala hijack. First, your amygdala, that's the brain's ancient fear center. It senses a threat,
and it goes absolutely nuclear. Then it sends out alarm signals that basically shut down your prefrontal cortex, the calm, logical, rational part of your brain. And just like that, you're in pure fight or flight mode. You're running on nothing but raw survival instinct. This is why you can't just calm down. Your logic center is literally offline.
So we've got this ancient brain wiring that was designed for threats on the savannah. How does it get tripped up in our modern world of smartphones and open-plan offices? Well, let's look at two incredibly common scenarios where this old system just goes haywire.
Okay, first up, the classic Instagram spiral. Your partner casually likes a photo of some super attractive person online. To your ancient brain, that's not a harmless click. It's a public signal of interest and arrival. It immediately kicks off this brutal game of social comparison, where you're pitting your real, messy, imperfect self against someone's perfectly curated, filtered highlight reel. This creates a feeling of what scientists call rank insecurity, a perceived demotion in your social standing, which your brain registers as a 5-alarm fire.
And then there's the work husband or work wife threat. Maybe nothing physical is happening, but your partner talks about their colleague all the time. They've got inside jokes, they just get each other's work stress. The science here is the fear of emotional usurpation. Your brain isn't just worried about sex, it's worried that the precious resource of real intimacy, of being deeply known, of being understood, is being diverted somewhere else. You start to fear that someone else knows your partner better than you.
So are we just stuck, doomed to be puppets of our ancient biology? Absolutely not. Understanding the machine is the first step to getting in the driver's seat. So let's shift gears. We've talked about the why, now let's talk about what to do. Here is a scientifically backed 5-step toolkit for taming jealousy and turning it from a monster into a messenger.
This is our roadmap. We're going to walk through each of these 5 steps. We'll start by simply naming the feeling. Then we'll learn to question those crazy stories we tell ourselves. After that, we'll check for projection, shift our whole strategy, and finally, learn how to have a conversation that actually brings you closer instead of pushing you apart.
All right, step 1, name it and claim it. The second you feel that hot, jealous flush, I want you to just pause and say, either out loud or just in your head, I am feeling jealous right now. This sounds way too simple, but it is incredibly powerful. The act of putting a name to the feeling actually shifts the activity in your brain away from that reactive emotional amygdala and back to your logical prefrontal cortex. It's like flipping on the lights in a dark, scary room. It immediately dials down the intensity.
Step 2 is to question the shadow story. See, jealousy is almost never about what actually happened. It's about the story you tell yourself about what happened. Look at this example. The trigger is tiny, your partner smiles at someone. But the shadow story? It's a complete catastrophe. It's a story all about how you're boring, you're not enough, and you're about to be abandoned. You have to learn to separate the fact from the fiction. Ask yourself, is this story I'm telling myself 100% true? And once you've done that, step 3 is to check for projection. Use that jealousy as a mirror. Ask, what is it about this rival that I find so threatening? Is it their confidence? Maybe that's a sign I need to work on my own. It's not about blaming yourself. It's about seeing what jealousy is showing you about your own needs.
And that leads us right into step 4, which is a massive shift in strategy. The default jealous reaction is what we call mate guarding. You get suspicious, you check their phone, you make rules, you try to control them. This is all reactive, it's all fear-based, and frankly, it pushes people away. The goal is to consciously pivot to mate attracting. Instead of trying to build a cage around your partner, you focus on building up yourself. You become the most vibrant, interesting, confident version of you. When you focus on being a great partner, you worry a lot less about the competition.
Which brings us to our final and, yeah, probably the hardest step, having the vulnerable conversation. Just look at the difference here. The bad way is an accusation. You always do this. That immediately throws up a wall. It puts your partner on the defensive. But the good way uses I statements. It says, here's how I feel, and here's the story I'm telling myself. It's an invitation. It doesn't trigger their defenses, it triggers their desire to care for you. One is an attack, the other is a plea for connection.
So as we start to wrap this all up, I want you to leave with this one powerful metaphor. Jealousy is not some monster that you have to kill. It is a smoke detector. It's loud, it's annoying, and yeah, it can be really painful when it goes off. And your first instinct might be to just rip it off the ceiling and cut the wires to make it stop, but that's always a mistake. The alarm isn't the problem. The alarm is a signal about a potential problem.
And your job is to become a good fire inspector. You have to investigate the smoke, because sometimes that alarm is signaling a real fire, a genuine issue in the relationship or a betrayal that you need to deal with. But a lot of the time, it's just burnt toast. It's a false alarm triggered by your own insecurities or past wounds.
And sometimes the alarm isn't pointing outward at all. It's pointing inward at a part of you that's been neglected and is crying out for some growth.
So I'll leave you with this final thought. The next time that loud, painful alarm of jealousy starts blaring, instead of letting it hijack you, just pause, take a breath, and get curious. Ask yourself this one simple question. What is my smoke detector really trying to tell me right now? Listening for the answer might just change everything. Thank you so much for joining me.